Have you ever looked back at your childhood and wondered why certain things happened to you? Things that seemed unfair, isolating, or even mysterious. What if I told you that those very moments were signs that Allah had chosen you for something greater? Today we'll explore profound signs from your childhood that might have been indicators of Allah's unique plan for you. These signs, often unnoticed at the time, can reveal a deeper purpose that connects directly to your faith and your journey in this world. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt out of place or misunderstood as a child, like you were walking a path no one else could see? If so, this video might open your eyes to the wisdom behind those experiences. And if you think this message isn't for you, I encourage you to stay until the end. You may discover a reason or a sign that changes the way you view your past and your purpose. Let's uncover these lessons together, starting with the first sign. Sign 1. Early awareness of a deeper purpose. Brothers and sisters, have you ever felt, even as a child, that you were different? Perhaps you noticed things others didn't, or you found yourself drawn to understanding life's deeper questions. It's as though you carried a weight of responsibility on your shoulders, even when those around you seemed carefree. This feeling, dear brothers and sisters, is not random. It's a sign that Allah may have placed a special purpose within you, shaping you for a path that only you can walk. Allah's wisdom is profound and His planning is perfect. The Quran reminds us, indeed, your Lord is ever watchful. Surah Al-Fajr 14. Allah's watchful guidance often begins long before we become aware of it. From the moment of our creation, He plants the seeds of purpose within our hearts, nurturing us through experiences, whether joyful or challenging, to prepare us for a greater role in this world. Imagine this: a child who experiences difficulties at a young age, perhaps being misunderstood by peers, struggling with loneliness, or facing challenges at home. To others, these moments might seem insignificant or even harsh, but in Allah's grand design, they hold profound meaning. Instead of breaking the child, these trials carve resilience, empathy, and strength. These are not merely hardships, they are divine lessons, carefully tailored to prepare the individual for their unique journey ahead. Let us turn to the life of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for a moment. He was orphaned at a young age, losing both his parents early in life. He grew up under the care of his grandfather and later his uncle, facing the uncertainties of life without the comfort of parental love. Yet, through these trials, Allah was molding him, teaching him patience, compassion, and unwavering reliance on Him. These early experiences were not in vain. They were the foundation upon which he was shaped into the leader, the guide, and the mercy to all mankind that we know and love today. Secondary events quickly followed, which led to his lifelong battle against depression and his cancer conditions. 3 decades later, reflect on your own life for a moment. Can you recall moments from your childhood where you felt different or out of place? Maybe you were the quiet observer, noticing details others overlooked. Perhaps you carried burdens that seemed heavier than what your peers faced. These moments, though difficult, were not without purpose. They were Allah's way of preparing you, nurturing qualities like patience, understanding, and strength, qualities that would later serve you on your unique path. Even in the smallest details of our lives, Allah's guidance is present. The challenges you faced as a child, the feelings of isolation, or the sense of being different were all part of His divine plan. He was nurturing your heart, your mind, and your soul for something greater, perhaps to be a source of inspiration, compassion, or leadership for others. The early signs of a chosen path aren't always grand or obvious. They don't come with announcements or fanfare. Instead, they are often hidden in the quiet struggles and unnoticed victories of everyday life. They may lie in the moments when you persevered through difficulty, when you chose kindness over anger, or when you sought to understand rather than judge. As we grow older, these moments begin to make sense. They come together like pieces of a puzzle, forming the foundation of our purpose in this life. They guide us back to Allah, reminding us of His presence and the role He has prepared for us. The Quran tells us, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him." Surah At-Talaq 3. This reliance, this trust in Allah's plan, begins in those early moments of hardship and reflection. Dear brothers and sisters, take a moment now to reflect. Think back to your childhood, to the times you felt misunderstood, out of place, or even overwhelmed. Consider how those experiences have shaped who you are today. Can you see Allah's wisdom in them? Can you recognize the lessons He was teaching you? Gunta, these moments, as small or as painful as they may have seemed, were Allah's way of drawing you closer to Him, of preparing you for the path He has chosen for you. Remember, every struggle, every tear, and every moment of perseverance was part of His greater plan for you. As we navigate life, let us not forget the importance of looking back with gratitude and understanding. Those early signs of purpose, hidden in our childhood experiences, are reminders of Allah's love and His careful planning. They are proof that even in our struggles, we were never alone. Allah was always there, guiding, nurturing, and preparing us for the journey ahead. Abka brain manuik, ikal mohal, alehu al David. May we all find strength and inspiration in these reflections, and may they guide us closer to fulfilling the purpose Allah has set for us. Sign 2. Experiencing setbacks that felt unfair. Brothers and sisters, let's pause for a moment. Have you ever worked so hard for something, only to see it slip through your hands? Maybe you prepared for a job, poured your heart into a relationship, or tried your best to be there for someone, only to feel ignored or unappreciated. It stings, doesn't it? But here's something to think about. What if that closed door was Allah's way of saving you from something you couldn't see? What if the rejection wasn't a punishment, but a redirection? The Quran beautifully reminds us, it may be that you dislike a thing and it is good for you, and that you love a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows, while you do not know. This isn't just a verse, it's a lifeline for moments when life feels unfair. Let me share something profound. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The people who are tested the most severely are the prophets, then those nearest to them, then those nearest to them. A person is tested according to his level of faith." This hadith teaches us that setbacks aren't random. They are custom designed for your growth and faith. Take a modern example. Imagine losing a job you thought was perfect. It's easy to spiral into despair, thinking you failed. But what if that job was shielding you from a toxic environment or leading you away from a better opportunity? Allah knows what we don't, and sometimes He redirects us for reasons we can only understand later. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is Allah teaching me through this?" When we view setbacks this way, they transform from sources of pain into catalysts for growth. Brothers and sisters, tests refine us. They purify our intentions, strengthen our patience, and remind us to rely on Allah more than anyone else. Remember, every setback carries the seeds of a comeback. If you place your trust in the one who knows all. Sign 3. Tests that reveal your true allies. Dear brothers and sisters, have you ever noticed how hardships have a unique way of revealing the true nature of the people in your life? It is during moments of difficulty, when life feels heaviest, that the masks come off. These moments of trial strip away pretense and convenience, unveiling who truly supports you and who is only there for their own gain. The Quran beautifully reminds us of the nature of trials. And we test you with evil and with good as a trial, and to us you will be returned. Surah Al-Anbiya 35. This verse emphasizes that tests are not random, they serve a divine purpose. They refine not only our own faith, but also expose the sincerity of those around us. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, faced this himself in ways that continue to inspire and teach us. During the boycott of Banu Hashim, a period of immense hardship, many people abandoned him out of fear for their own safety and well-being. This was a time of intense isolation, hunger, and difficulty, yet not everyone turned away. There were steadfast companions, loyal and unwavering, who stood by him despite the personal risks they faced. Their loyalty was not rooted in personal gain or convenience, but in their deep love for Allah and His Messenger. Now, think about your own experiences. Have you ever faced a situation where the struggles you endured seemed to push people away? Perhaps you found yourself standing alone, wondering why those you counted on disappeared when you needed them most. It is a painful realization, but one that often carries profound wisdom. These moments, as difficult as they may feel, are blessings in disguise. They free you from false relationships, those built on selfish interests or shallow foundations, and leave behind the ones who truly care. These trials act as a form of purification, separating the gold of genuine companionship from the impurities of superficial ties. Take a moment to reflect on the wisdom behind this. If those who left had remained in your life, would they have supported your growth and faith, or would their presence have hindered your journey toward Allah? The answer often becomes clear in hindsight. So, how do we navigate this process of revelation and loss? The first step, dear brothers and sisters, is to shift our reliance from people to Allah. Human loyalty is fragile. It wavers under pressure and changes with circumstances. But Allah's support is eternal, unshakable, and always sufficient. The Quran reminds us, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Surah At-Talaq 3. When someone's behavior during your trials disappoints you, remind yourself of this profound truth. They were not part of the plan Allah has for your future. Their absence is not a punishment, but a divine redirection, steering you toward those who will truly uplift you and support you. Let us look to the example of fire and gold. Just as fire tests and purifies gold, removing impurities and leaving behind only the purest form. So too do our hardships refine the quality of our relationships. Those who remain steadfast during your trials are like gold, precious, enduring, and rare. They are the ones Allah has chosen to be part of your journey. Dear brothers and sisters, embrace these tests as Allah's way of purifying your circle and strengthening your reliance on Him. These experiences, though painful, are not without purpose. They teach us to value sincerity, to prioritize quality over quantity, and to lean on Allah as our ultimate source of strength and support. As you move forward, let go of bitterness or resentment toward those who could not stay. Understand that their departure was part of Allah's wisdom. Instead, focus on nurturing and appreciating the relationships that have stood the test of time and trial. These are the bonds worth cherishing, those grounded in faith, mutual support, and love for Allah. And finally, dear brothers and sisters, remember this: trials are temporary, but the lessons they teach and the strength they build within us are lasting. Trust in Allah's plan, and know that every difficulty you face is a step toward purification, growth, and a closer connection to Him. May Allah grant us the strength to endure, the wisdom to discern sincerity, and the faith to trust His plan, always. Sign 4. Patience, the silent strength that moves mountains. Let's be honest, waiting isn't easy. It's in our nature to want things immediately, to solve problems quickly, and to escape discomfort as fast as possible. But patience feels like climbing a mountain barefoot, unsure of when or if you'll reach the top. But here's the beauty: patience is not about passively waiting. It's about actively trusting Allah's timing, His wisdom, and His plan for your life. The Quran beautifully assures us, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever tried to force something to happen, a relationship, a job, or a goal, only to find that it left you more frustrated? Now think about the times when you surrendered your efforts to Allah. Didn't things unfold in ways far better than you could have planned? Let's bring this closer to home. Imagine you're struggling with your career or your personal life. You've done everything you can, but doors seem to remain shut. It's frustrating, right? But maybe those closed doors are Allah's way of protecting you from something harmful, guiding you toward a better path you can't yet see. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrated this beautifully. When the people of Taif rejected and mistreated him, he didn't retaliate. He turned to Allah, pouring his heart out, trusting that the hardship had a purpose. And what happened? His patience bore fruits far greater than the immediate relief of revenge. Patience, brothers and sisters, is not weakness. It's the silent strength that moves mountains. It's the quiet conviction that Allah's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't match our expectations. Next time you find yourself frustrated, remind yourself of this. Patience isn't just waiting. It's a form of worship. Every second you endure with trust in Allah, you're earning His reward, His mercy, and His closeness. Sign 5. When faith becomes your shield. Brothers and sisters, have you ever felt like life's challenges were relentless, striking you from every side? It's in these moments that your faith becomes your most powerful shield, not a passive defense, but an active force that empowers you to rise above trials and find strength in the promise of Allah. The Quran reminds us, indeed, with hardship there is ease. This verse doesn't just offer comfort, it's a profound truth. Allah pairs every difficulty with relief. But here's the secret: relief often comes when we lean fully into our faith, embracing it as our guiding light. Let's take a real-life example many can relate to. Imagine a student preparing for an important exam. They've studied tirelessly, but still feel the weight of uncertainty. Instead of giving in to panic, they pause, make dua, and remind themselves that effort combined with reliance on Allah never goes unrewarded. This mindset doesn't just calm them, it gives them clarity to perform their best. Similarly, when life feels overwhelming, faith shifts your perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as punishments, you start viewing them as opportunities for growth, purification, and closeness to Allah. Take inspiration from the story of the people of the cave. They were young believers who fled to protect their faith, leaving behind all worldly comforts. Their reliance on Allah shielded them, and their story stands as a timeless reminder of how faith can turn trials into triumphs. Brothers and sisters, when you carry faith as your shield, you're not just enduring, you're transforming. Challenges no longer break you, they build you into a stronger, more resilient believer. Brothers and sisters, life's tests are not meant to break you, but to shape you into the believer Allah knows you can be. Each trial, whether it feels like a gentle nudge or an overwhelming storm, carries a hidden wisdom, a purpose designed to bring you closer to Him. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "No fatigue, nor disease, nor sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for that." This hadith reminds us that our struggles are not in vain. Every moment of pain, when borne with patience and trust, is an opportunity for purification and elevation. Let's reflect. Are we embracing these tests as invitations to grow, or are we resisting them out of fear and frustration? The choice to trust Allah's wisdom and surrender to His plan is what turns hardships into blessings. Before you leave this video, dear brothers and sisters, I encourage you to take a moment to pause and make a heartfelt intention. Perhaps, in the quiet of your heart, say a silent dua. Ya Allah, grant me patience in every trial. Guide me to see the wisdom in your plans, and strengthen my faith so I may walk the path you have chosen for me with courage and gratitude. Let this be more than just words. Let it be your commitment to embracing the tests of life with trust in Allah's infinite wisdom. Let it be your promise to seek His guidance in every situation, knowing that His plans for you are always perfect, even when they are beyond your understanding. If this message touched your heart and gave you a fresh perspective on your trials, consider sharing it with someone who might also need these reminders. You never know how your act of sharing could be the turning point for someone else's journey of faith and growth. I also invite you to take part in this community of faith and inspiration. If you've learned something new or felt a deeper connection to Allah through this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Deen. By subscribing, you'll join us in spreading these beautiful reminders to others seeking guidance, comfort, and purpose in their lives. Feel free to leave your reflections in the comments below. Your thoughts and personal stories might inspire someone else on their path, reminding them that they are not alone in their struggles, and that there is always wisdom and light waiting beyond every trial. May Allah strengthen your heart, guide your steps, and grant you the ease and blessings that always follow hardship. Remember, dear brothers and sisters, that every moment of patience, every act of faith, and every reliance on Allah brings you closer to Him and to the incredible plans He has in store for you. Until next time, stay steadfast, hold on to your faith, and always remember, Allah's plan is always perfect.